When I was in the Watchtower Society, I noticed something that I would like to call mental dependence, or a mental dependency that was forming, where I was always being encouraged to look into the Watchtower Society's publications for guidance on various problems and things. But what would happen is I'd often find myself without the library at my disposal to be able to find things. And I would often not know how to answer certain questions or how to respond to certain situations. And I would find myself having to go run and check the Watchtower library for answers for this particular problem or that particular problem. And today I don't have that problem. Today, problems come along, I deal with them. And I don't have to sit there and think, oh, what would the slave say? Notice some of these examples of what I'm talking about.
When spiritually low, perhaps sinking into despair, we likewise turn to Jehovah in prayer and beseech Him to guide us by His Holy Spirit. We seek comfort from the Scriptures. We consult the Christian publications of the Watchtower Society for practical advice. This often enables us to solve our own problems. Perhaps newly baptized marriage mates are having problems applying godly principles. They might consult an elder who could spend a few evenings discussing the Scriptures with them and direct their attention to information found in Watchtower publications. He may use the Watchtower Publications Index, if available, to locate what the faithful and discreet slave has said on the subject in the pages of the Watchtower and other publications. Elders, too, need to study and consult the Scriptures regularly and be thoroughly familiar with Bible literature published by the faithful and discreet slave.
So did you see the emphasis being placed on the faithful and discreet slave or the Watchtower Society publications? What this does is helps people become completely without compass or direction when faced with challenges in life and they don't have access to their Watchtower library or the Watchtower's other publications, or perhaps there isn't an elder around to talk to about a problem. I would strongly suggest not telling the elders in your congregation anything about your business, because they do write this stuff down and they keep a record of it, and they do keep account of the injury, and they will bring it up later. It could be 2-3 weeks later and they come along and say, are you still having problems with your marriage? When your marriage might have corrected itself. Next thing you know, you have these elders all up in your marital business, wanting to know little details, talking to your spouse about marital problems that you might have shared with them. You do not want to tell them anything, and you don't want to become dependent on the Watchtower Society for guidance. Because when the chips are down, the Watchtower Society is not there for you. When kids are being raped in the congregations, the Watchtower Society doesn't help the kids. The Watchtower Society says, do you have a second witness? The Watchtower Society doesn't allow DNA testing of rape victims. If you go to an outside source, they say you're bringing reproach against Jehovah. So you never want to become mentally dependent or form a mental dependency on something like the Watchtower Society. Or you could end up like this.
That would depend on how you, let's see, how I put this.